Some people praise her as the pearl of China. Some others regard her as the treasure island of the motherland. The southeast trade wind blows across the land. The Tropic of Cancer runs through the island. Here, the beautiful land of Taiwan emerges out of the waves of the Pacific Ocean. The main island of Taiwan covers 36,000 kilometers and is the biggest island of China. The over 100 islets around the Taiwan island, including the Penghu Islands to the west, the Green Island to the southeast, the Lanyu Isle, the Cotton Isle, the Diaoyu Isle, the Huangwei Isle, and the Chiwei Isle, guard the southeast gate of the motherland and provides a natural defense at sea for the mainland.
Why is the issue of Taiwan so closely related to the whole nation, and why has it drawn the attention of the whole world? The people on both sides of the Taiwan Strait have been separated for 40 years. The Taiwan problem is a test of wisdom to Chinese on both sides of the strait. The reunification of the motherland asks us to think of our nation in our time.
It needs us to look forward to the future so as to know the principle on solving the Taiwan problem, and requires us to look back into history so as to get the full picture of the issue. We have to start from the near end of history. Only by reviewing what had happened in the past can we have a better vista for the future. What separates the mainland and Taiwan is the strait.
What connects the mainland and Taiwan is the strait.
What are the details of this passage of water, and when did it appear?
The strait reaches depths of up to 200 meters, and the shallowest part only 50 meters. The width of the strait ranges from 130 to 200 kilometers. In the waves of the Pacific Ocean, the Taiwan Strait is but a shallow and narrow ocean corridor. However, to the east of the Taiwan island is the vast and deep ocean. Obviously, Taiwan is just another stretch of the continent to the Pacific.
Why do the mountains in Taiwan have the same trend and geographical conditions as their counterparts in the mainland? Because they were twins in the first place. The Taiwan Mountains are just the boundary branches of the mountain chains in the east of the continent.
When the fossils of stegodon, rhinoceros, macrorodent, Melegosaurus, and Milu were found in Taiwan, the image of ancient times became clear. All these mammals that originated from the mainland couldn't swim at all. They could only walk to the land we now call Taiwan.
The geographical, geological, and paleontological research has come to the same conclusion. As the global climate became warmer in the later period of the Pleistocene, the glaciers on the continent began to melt, and the sea level rose by 100 meters and flooded the area where the strait is now located. Since then, Taiwan has been an island surrounded by sea.
Humans bid goodbye to their cousin, the chimpanzee, about 5 million years ago. When the light of the prehistoric civilization dawned on the horizon of the ancient land of China, there had already been human footprints on Taiwan. According to archaeologists, the Zhoujin man was a branch of the famous Sinanthropus picanese, the Peking man, about the period of Upper Caveman 10 or 20,000 years ago.
In 1968, a group of archaeologists in Taiwan found 3,000 pieces of stone tools and bone tools in a cave by the seaside in Changbin of Taitung County. Since then, the Changbin civilization has become well known. The material and chipping method found on the tools are almost identical as those choppers found in the mainland provinces of Hubei and Guangxi. Thus, the relationship between the primeval culture in Taiwan and the mainland is evident and can be traced back to the Old Stone Age.
When and where did the earliest Gaoshan tribe originate in Taiwan? From large volumes of historic literature to popular legends, from totem beliefs to everyday customs, historians have provided many clues. Although the Gaoshan people couldn't have developed from a single source, it was believed that the majority of the ethnic people were originally the ancient Yu people from the southeast coast of China.
The Chinese civilization kept growing along the Yangtze River and the Yellow River. The Han people became the dominant ethnic group throughout the region. There are many records of the Han people immigrating early to Taiwan even before the Qin dynasty. There is a poem written by a town poet, Shi Jianwu, after he moved to the Penghu Islands. Many ghost towns by the sea, no common country where islands will live. Dark lads learn to pick up pearl with shells reflecting the salty world.
During the turbulent Southern Song dynasty between 1127 and 1279, more people from the mainland crossed the strait to resettle on the island. Many local records and family pedigrees have documented their immigration. During the Qing dynasty, from the end of the 17th century until the beginning of the 20th century, the population increased from 200,000 to 3.2 million. This passage of water could not sever the blood relations between those on both sides of the strait. The northern horses gallop to the north wind. The southern birds nestle on the south tree. On the forebears' tablets and the door inlets carved the origins of their family. Many temples and god statues in Taiwan are just identical to those in the mainland. Also kept intact are the ways of living, the rites of marriage and funeral, and the celebrations of the traditional festivals such as the Qingming, the Mid-Autumn, the Dragon Boat, and the mountain climbing festivals of the mainland. Not to mention the spoken and written language of the Chinese nation and the production technology of the people. Nobody can deny that Taiwan culture is a part of the Chinese culture, and Taiwan compatriots are members of the big family of the Chinese nation.
How many names has Taiwan ever had during history, and why did the names change? The ancient Chinese classics Liezi, Yugong history, and Hohan history named Taiwan as Dayuan, Daoyi, Yingzhou, and Dongti respectively. In the Three Kingdoms period between 221 and 265, Taiwan was Yizhou. Since Sui in the late 6th century until Song and Yuan in the 10th and 14th centuries, Taiwan had been referred to as Rikyo. In the Ming Dynasty between 1368 and 1644, the name was changed into Little Rikyo to differentiate from the Rikyo Islands. In the same period, Taiwan was also called Dongfan, Jilongshan, and Beigang. The name of Taiwan appeared only in the middle of the Ming Dynasty, developing phonetically from the names of Taiyuan, Dahui, Dayuan, Dawan, and Meiyuan. The name Formosa was given by the Spanish sailors who were stunned by the beauty of the mountains and green of the island when their ship passed the Taiwan Strait in 1590. The literal meaning of Formosa is beautiful island, having no derogatory connotation. However, as the name was given by foreign invaders and it stands for the beginning of the foreign rule period, this name has not been accepted by the Chinese people. During the period of Japanese rule, Taiwan was humiliated with the use of the names of Gaoshan and Gaosha, those bearing national discrimination, and discarded long time ago.
Since the first emperor of China, the Qing Shi Huang established a central government. There has not been a single dynasty who ruled Taiwan out of their administration. During the Three Kingdoms period between 221 and 265, Sun Quan, the emperor of the Wu Kingdom, sent an expedition led by his generals to Taiwan. The one-year military maneuver proved to be unsuccessful. However, it brought the people of the mainland in extensive contact with the Taiwanese for the first time in history.
The Sui Yang Emperor also commissioned his military representative to sail for Taiwan, guided by navigator He Man from Fujian province in 605. In 610, the emperor again sent Chen Lin and Zhang Zhenzhou, commanding a troop of 10,000 people, to make the eastbound expedition. Chen Ling was later considered the founder of the land, and a palace was built in his honor in Taiwan.
By the time of the prosperous Tang Dynasty between 618 and 907, the central government had already included Taiwan and Penghu Islands into the administration of southern provinces. The Song Dynasty was a period of growing relationships between Taiwan and the mainland. The central government was already practicing the household registration system in Taiwan. Quanzhou Governor Wang Daiyun changed the whole practice of sending defense only in south wind season to Taiwan. Defense forces were stationed in the Penghu Islands all year round, during which, for 200 years, the military forces fed themselves using the farmland they cultivated. Song Dynasty money also became the hard currency used on the Taiwan Islands. According to historic documents, Song money was widely used in Taiwan. The money was small and thin in quality, and 1,000 coins were usually threaded together. It can be seen that the economic relationship between Taiwan and the mainland was very close.
The Yuan rulers between 1271 and 1368 also implemented some new political policies in Taiwan, apart from setting up government there. In 1292, Kublai Khan of the Yuan dynasty appointed his noble Yang Xiang to be his envoy to Taiwan and announced his demand. In 1297, the emperor sent Zhang Hao and Zhang Jin with their armed forces to Taiwan again. Investigations were made on the customs of the local people. This is another example of the efforts made by the central government to create exchange and cooperation between the two sides of the Taiwan Strait.
The Ming rulers, during their administration, made unwise policies towards Taiwan. In 1388, the government canceled the 100-year-long Penghu office, claiming that it was difficult to hold defenses on the isolated islands. In the meantime, a ban on maritime traffic was imposed. No fish boats and business ships were allowed to sail on the sea. All the residents who had lived on the island for years were moved to live in Jiangzhou and Qianzhou in Fujian province. The retreat policy not only impeded the development of Taiwan, but also made foreign invasion much easier. When the Japanese invaded Taiwan, they held the islands as their bases to attack the mainland on the southeast coast. Only then did the Chinese emperor become sober and decided to lift the ban on maritime traffic. In 1563, the office of Penhu resumed operations, 200 years after the mistake was made.
In addition, the ban also brought about prosperous armed pirates. These pirates sailed and controlled the seas for 100 years and usually owned hundreds of ships and thousands of troops. Among them, the Zheng Zhilong troop based in Taiwan was the strongest. They observed strict disciplines and had a clear philosophy of not hurting people randomly, robbing only the bureaucrats, and subsidizing the poor. This philosophy reflected the wishes of the sprouting capitalists wanting to break the restraints imposed by the feudal organizations in control of the country at that time. The government system established by Zheng Zhilong made him the first man in the history of Taiwan to introduce the mainland's production relations to Taiwan.
The prefecture system was similarly practiced in Taiwan as well. This is another historic feat undertaken by the famous Ming general and national hero Zheng Zhenggong after he retrieved Taiwan from foreign invaders. In 1661, a provincial government, 2 county governments, and 3 subordinate offices were established on the island. All the laws and statutes employed by the mainland were also put into practice in Taiwan. Zheng Zhenggong made the soldiers do farm work and cultivate barren lands. Farmers from the mainland were also invited to teach local agricultural technologies. Their hard work led to the later economic development of Taiwan.
When talking about the administration in the Qing dynasty, we cannot ignore the name of Shi Lang. During the time of the Kangxi Emperor between 1662 and 1723, all government officials considered Taiwan a tiny island of no importance and wanted to forsake the island. Shi Lang disagreed and sent a report to the emperor stating the disadvantages of losing Taiwan. With deep political insight and profound historic awareness, he reiterated that Taiwan forms a protection for the southeast coastal provinces. It had fertile land, well-developed sea traffic, and a promising future. If discarded, it would again fall into the hands of the Dutch invaders and become a peril to the government. The quaking report finally won the approval of Emperor Kangxi. Today, when the dust of history is blown away, we can read the report again and still appreciate his insightful thoughts. This historic document leaves the nation with an eternal warning. With increasing population and developing economy, the Qing government set up more institutions. 1885 became a milestone in the history of Taiwan. Liu Mingchuan was appointed governor of Taiwan province, which included Taiwan, Tainan, and Taipei. Taiwan became a province just as all the other provinces in China. The barren land of Taiwan became a prosperous island.